Hello, hype humans. What she said, fam. Welcome to another edition of OnlyFans, our one-on-one interview series where we get to sit down with some of our favorite businesses, humans in our communities, learn a little bit more about what they do, and you get to learn a little bit more about why we love them. Today, we're lucky enough to sit down with Cody Galloway of TULA Life Balanced. You're probably familiar with the brand as they get referred here all the time, so we're always highlighting them, shouting them out. They were even a thirst trap feature at one point. And I'm lucky enough to call Cody one of my very best friends, so this is likely to get, just a little bit maybe more off the beaten path than normal, but you're just gonna love her because, we all do. Let's see. Oh, we've got so many waivers. This is great. Hello, everyone. Hi. Good to see you, friend.
Ew.
Thank you for joining me today. I'm only fans of you for sure, so it's just nice to actually be able to sit down with one of my besties and not be so nervous for these dang things.
Oh, I'm horrible at this stuff, so I'm so true.
Oh, stop. You're great. You're great. I figured we could start by kind of talking about how you joined our community here, how I know you basically. So, in case y'all don't know, we also co-own and operate an event production firm in Denver that does events all over called Collaborative Events. Cody is actually in Boston and New York right now for an event there.
I am.
So
That's
just
true.
coming to us from the East Coast, normally in Denver. But how we found each other and started a company together, we think is a topic that a lot of freelancers, solopreneurs, even small businesses can relate to. Cody and I were both doing our own thing in the event world. I had left a production company, and Cody had left the nonprofit world recently, but had done events all over the city. I was a fangirl of her. And we were working solo, and we both lost out on an RFP because we were just solo, and it was just one person. And so this particular client was looking for more of at least a duo of people. So we were having coffee, drinks, I can't remember. Usually there's drinks involved, I feel like. And discussing, you know what, why don't we just do this together? Two is better than one, collaboration over competition. We can still have our own clients, but we can also take on larger clients. And it just spiraled from there into adding another business partner, Kaylee, and adding contractors and staff that we love, and was just a dream that an idea could roll into something larger and employing people and employing vendors and all these amazing things. And that's what we think the magic is in thinking about people as your best assets and your collaborators, and people in your community doing the same thing as a complementary asset to you for passing along other work when they're bogged down or whatnot, versus seeing everyone as competition.
Totally.
So with that, we decided to join forces and start collaborative. And then obviously, cue the pandemic, our company was put on pause. I jumped headfirst into what she said with Bryn, as she had this idea for this amazing referral community. And Cody jumped headfirst into TULA with her amazing co-founder, Megan Trask. And tell us, Cody, more about TULA. I gave a little bit of a blip on it at the start, but it's starting something from nothing that's super unique and doesn't exist in the world as other industries and verticals do. So give us more of the details on what TULA is.
Sure. I will first give props to my amazing co-founder, Megan, who, as you mentioned, she's actually on. Hi, Megan. This was a brilliant idea. And so when collab was kind of taking a little bit of a pause, she started to chat with me about this idea of hers, which was so real for her as a single mom living this very corporate, working a million hours type of job, feeling like she was burning a candle at both ends. And we started to talk about this concept, and it was just like, the more I thought about it, I was like, oh my God, that's like so brilliant, because that is so something that I have felt the need for in my own personal life. Juggling, there's a lot of travel involved with our events, and a lot of long hours and weekends. And I very much too felt that stress of juggling it all and feeling like I had to deliver on being the perfect mom and show up as a room parent and as a friend and a wife, and then
Because
also
you literally do it all, I do feel like. So it's like a perfect concept to put into your life.
no, definitely not, but it was very much a need I felt and at my core, and I still feel very passionately about it. And the more that we worked on TULA, it evolved into something that I don't know if we knew where it was going when we started, but I am even more passionate than ever about TULA and about what we're hoping to do for people. So,
And what is it? It's
oh,
a
that would be helpful. Yeah.
well, passion matters the
Great.
most, but what is it?
So essentially, we are an on-demand personal assistant and chef service. Um, we have an app that we launched this year, the native version of. So we were first a web-based app, and now we have a native app. And so we have a team of thoroughly vetted, extremely resourceful and trustworthy assistants and chefs in each of our markets. And then also a team of virtual assistants. So we serve people all over the country with tackling to-do lists. So like taking anything off your plate. We know people are getting home from work, and then the second shift starts, right? There's bottles to wash, there's lunch boxes to clean out, there's gifts to buy for friends, there's laundry to do, there's meals to prep. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And that is kind of, that's what we're solving for, right? Is like, that creates so much burnout. It creates resentment towards your partner if it's not equitable. And so TULA really strives to kind of be a tool for people to relieve them of some of that stress and take that second shift off their plate.
Love that. And you are in a number of different markets right now, so I don't picture them. Where in person is TULA operating out of right now?
So we launched obviously in Denver, and so we are serving Denver and the surrounding markets all the way west to Evergreen, and Boulder, and then also in Austin, Texas, and then the most recent in Aspen, Colorado as well. And then the most recent market is Raleigh-Durham Triangle area of North Carolina. And then Scottsdale is very quickly approaching, right around the corner. That is top secret news. We haven't even said that yet. So
First to hear.
wow.
We're the
Dropping the bomb.
I love it. And I feel like you guys always have people asking for you to come to new markets. So likely there's a long list. And if you want to come to your market, if you're like, I could have used this 100 times yesterday, we'll be able to find out on the end of this interview where you can stay plugged in and hear where TULA is going to come next. But you can use them virtually up until that point. I think about it all the time. Like, I can't wait for you to come to Kansas City, because oftentimes we want that in-person relationship too. Like, virtually, I probably could use it a million times over. Like, do this research, find where I can stay here. We're going on this vacation. What are the good restaurants to see? Like, all the time could use that. And then it's just so nice to have consistent people that you're used to coming in your home and helping you with your closet, or helping you with your dog, or helping you with all of this piled up things I need to ship and return. And to kind of create that like relationship with, I think it's awesome that y'all have really great people that you lean on for that.
Yeah, an incredible team. So couldn't do it without them.
Love that. Okay, you mentioned second shift, and I know in your guys' world you talk also a lot about the invisible labor, right? Those are the terms. So, for those of us not familiar with some of these terms as much as y'all are in building this in your passion, can you dive a little bit deeper into what those mean?
Yeah, it's essentially what I just touched on. It's kind of like there is kind of, it's very exciting to see, but more people are just talking about putting terms to these things that have existed forever, right? But like nobody actually talks about them. So it's like it's just the stuff that is required to function, to get through. So it's like anything on top of your day-to-day work life is the other stuff that needs to get done. And so it's the planning for activities or babysitters or literally anything you can think of, laundry, meal prep, groceries, loading the dishwasher, tidying up your house, breaking down recycling, those kind of things that there's not like you don't think about them. You just know that you're busy and you feel like you have to do all these things and you always have this running to-do list in your head, but it's like there aren't, they're expectations almost. And historically pretty inequitable in terms of partnerships and who is responsible for these kind of roles. And thankfully, as I mentioned, there is a shift where people are at least talking about it. I think that it's, we're hoping to destigmatize this, like, I can't ask for help. I have to do it all. I have to like fit this like super mom, super, do all the things kind of expectation that society and Instagram, all the things puts on us. And that's really what the second shift is. And invisible labor is just speaking to like, who's responsible for doing all those things.
Yeah,
So
totally. And it does, I mean, I love that you touched on like an equitable divide in the household. Like whatever your partner situation is, it just seems to be more apparent like on TikTok or in our friend circles or even on, more educational platforms and stuff that you all are doing, like blogging about it so people are more aware that it even exists, that it tends to fall more in the women's camp. And I'm sure you're hearing that, finding that. Is why is that? Are we just constantly looking at things differently and multitasking like crazy people, that we're just moving through life trying to do all of it when we're just not made that way?
yeah, I mean, I'm by no means an expert or anything. I do think there's kind of as women, parents or not, it could also be very applicable to aging parents or, taking care of neighbors or pets. Like you're a caretaker by nature, and for a lot of us. And I think we are also by nature multitaskers. At least I can only speak from personal experience, but I feel like my husband has like more than like two things on his list. And he's like, Mom! And I'm like, yeah, and Corey. I was like, if he knew what was like literally on my list or like going through my brain, he might explode. Like literally.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And I just don't know if we're just naturally a little bit more designed to think about everything else but ourselves or what it might be. And oftentimes I think even, and I think y'all touch on this too, and have seen it with a lot of my business partners who are moms and friends who are moms and what it might be, but suddenly you're tasked with keeping this human alive and your head is constantly running of all the things you need to do to take care of them, but then also the household and also your job or career or your company, and then maybe yourself should probably be on that list too. It seems like impossible.
Absolutely. I mean, like you often are the last person prioritize, and that's not great. Like if we're not showing up for ourselves, how can we expect to show up for others, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like too that obviously you mentioned this is what you're passionate about solving the problem for, but it's hard in general to just convince, I think especially with for help. And I know you are one of those people that is super guilty of it. Just knowing that as your business partner, right? Like you want to be able to tackle it all and get it done. Is there things you had to overcome, you know, as a busy working mom, business owner, active in your community? You mentioned school, probably on the board, PTAs, all the things, volunteering in the classroom. Like, what has helped you learn to ask for help? Are there any tips and tricks that you have for other people who might be in a place where they really need to start doing the same?
As far as like, I like hard. It's hard. It's hard. You, you, I love the idea of problems that 500 going on, and they're like, yes, I need help, but like they do have to overcome this kind of, you know, something in their head telling them it's not okay, or that they can do it all, and like other people are doing it all, so I can do it all too. And so there is a bit of a shift in terms of how people are able to think about asking for help that has to happen, that is not immediate, honestly. And some people will have an easier time than others, but a lot of our clients really like take a sec to like get the hang of it, and then they can't stop. Like they
Then
like
they're addicted.
and they start asking, they're like, "Why, you do that too? What?" And then it's like, and then it just rolls off the tongue. But like it's hard for a lot of people, and myself included, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. I like how you touched on the stigma of it, because there definitely is this expectation, and whether social media created that, this society just adding more onto our plate, decade after decade of what we're supposed to do as humans just to thrive and live in this world. But breaking through stigmas is something we're really passionate about too, on what she said side of things. And it's a whole nother animal when your company or what you're building or what you're offering has to break through something like that. It's almost like this psychological shift, as
Yeah.
you mentioned, that you have to get through to people first. And then when they see it can be done differently and the change it could create and what better it could be for their life or their family or whatnot, it's so powerful. So kudos to y'all for tackling the problem alongside all the to-dos that exist in people's world.
Well, I mean, we're, you know, I think that there's so much room and so much opportunity to help this get easier, get better. I think the first thing is like talking about, like asking for help, and you know, we recognize that we're not going to be the solution for everybody. I think it's more just like talking about, it's okay that you don't have to do it all. You don't have to have like Pinterest worthy Valentines, and you know, also show up at work for 10 hours a day, and like, you know, and you don't need to put together at drop off and pick up. Like there are things that are like, we just need to make real life more front and center, I think. Yeah.
Love that. We touched on it probably through the conversation, but love to point out a mom of two of my favorite littles,
Oh,
Ollie and Perry. How do you feel like, our next fan mail that's going to go out, we're going to touch on that topic, like how difficult it can be to build one baby while raising other babies. How has that been for you? Has it been um, eye-opening that you're building something that could also help people in your position? Touch on that.
Yeah. I mean, startups are a beast, and it's certainly no, I, like it's ironic that we were building something, the first 2 years at least, we were building something to bring balance to people's lives that we probably could have used a little more balance ourselves, working crazy. Yeah, yeah, working crazy hours. But at this juncture, I truly do feel like I'm in a really good spot with balance and I've always turned off when, I pick the kids up from school and maybe turn back on when they go to sleep.
Yeah.
I am definitely guilty of that. My husband will say I work too much still. But it's a balance, and I make sure to like talk to the kids about what we're building too, and they know TULA. They talk about TULA.
They wear the merch.
Yeah. Yes. Corey, my husband, is very much like, can we just have TULA do that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
He's addicted now. He's
Fine.
like, this company will free up, this app will free up my wife's time, essentially. So great. Can I get her back?
Yeah. Don't get him a login though. He will just fire away, and then he'll look at me and be like, like,
I love that.
These things.
I love that.
Yeah.
We all need someone to come tackle our to-dos that we're pushing down the priority list. And we can relate here at what she said, right? Like, we've found that when we ask for Monday mentions and referrals for people to shout out businesses they love, no problem. 50 comments, easy. You're dishing them out. Women are easily giving love to those that have shown them love, and vice versa. When we ask for what you need or what you're looking for, whether it's afraid to put it out there in the world, or in a way afraid to ask for help, or they're just like, oh, I'll get to that. I'll eventually Google and just come up with nothing for hours about that person that they're trying to buy.
100%.
Yeah. So we're all just trying to make life a little more curated, life a little bit more easy, bring more fun into it at the same time, and we're eventually going to get people to finally realize they don't have to do it all.
That's right. That's the goal.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Okay. So, with talking about referrals and shouting out businesses that you love, who's your go-to referral of the moment?
Oh my goodness. Such a hard question.
No, you're hyping me for sure.
I mean, I refer them to what she said.
We love. Always great.
I would say definitely one of my top referrals of the moment. I do love, if I love something, I love it. I also I would say just because it's top of mind and very recent, two of my best girlfriends and one of my sister-in-law just opened the cutest little wine bar. If you are in the Denver area, it is in Wheat Ridge, and it is called Wolf and Wildflower. And I'm gonna cry. I'm just so proud of them. So
that's so sweet. You're so sweet.
No, they just work so hard. So I'm just so proud of them. So
I love that. It's Sweet Ridge / Wheat Ridge. We all need a wine shop in our life, a cutie wine shop, and it's open, right? They just recently launched.
Yep, they're open, and it's super cute. Go in and check it out. And then can I just do one more?
Of course.
I mean, I have so many, but I also would say she was actually responsible for the TULA logo and branding and our initial web design and stuff like that. And her name's Elizabeth Nelson from Creative Alert Design. And I will shout her praises from the rooftops because she's just so darn talented. So
love that. Isn't it crazy how when you find someone, you just sort of fall in love and you want to refer them to everyone you know, and can't wait to get to work with them again and just sort of develop like a friendship. Even in our interviews with so many business owners or consumers, when they're referring someone, they're like, I just want to be their friend also because they're so damn badass.
Absolutely. I have a long list.
I love it. You do. You're the walking app, we call you.
So.
A hype human. Okay, so how can what she said keep tabs on TULA, find out more, start to actually ask for help and download the app and use TULA?
Yeah. So you can find us at tulabalanced.com or on our Instagram, clearly. And then to actually start asking for help, you can download our native app. It's available on the Google Play and Apple stores, and you can find it TULA Balanced, I think, if you do that search. So
Perfect.
yeah.
New cities coming soon. Thank you, Codes.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just shout out one of your special skills. She's a fantastic dancer. Did you do a little dance?
No.
Like, just so good, really.
I'm not a fantastic dancer. I just love to dance. There's very different things.
Yeah, I think it's good. I would book you. I miss you. Thank you for joining us. And until next time.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.